Hello and welcome to the sixth round of the Mercedes-AMG Motorsport eRacing competition, the virtual racing competition of Mercedes-Benz and raceroom, where 17 of the fastest online qualifiers challenged a VIP driver of Mercedes-Benz. My name is Robert Wiesenmüller and I'm joined today once again by Richie Peter Reichert.
Hello everybody and very warm welcome from my side too. Robert already said it, round number 6 of the Mercedes-Benz e-racing competition. 18 DTM cars, 18 Mercedes-AMG C63 are here with us today, and we'll try to get the maximum. That means first of all pole position. Now we are still in a practice session at 13:40, warm-up, that's now. 45, the qualifying starts for 10 minutes. And then we have a 20 minutes race here at Zandvoort at the dunes on the North Sea coast in northern Netherlands. It will be a breathtaking one, this I can promise you already now, because this track is so selective and so difficult to drive on. And it's also got the one feature that there is no asphalt on the sides. All the runoff zones are gravel traps, so this means you have to be even more precise and even more exact when you choose your racing line than in the previous races. Compared to Zandvoort, Hockenheim and Lausitzring, for example, are really easy turfs.
Yeah, certainly a tough track, certainly a driver track as well. And yeah, we've got a lot of interesting drivers here on the field, and I want to point your attention to this guy here, Thomas Jäger, our VIP driver.
Oh yes, our VIP driver this weekend. But before we talk a little bit more about Thomas Jäger, Robert, can you explain me the expression, what is a driver track? Isn't every track a driver track?
Well, yeah, that's true, but...
because a driver has to manage it.
That's true, but there are some tracks where you can gain a lot of time out of the car setup, of course, and even though this is a game, this raceroom racing experience, you still change the car setup and everything, and on a track like Zandvoort, you have to be very committed to find the ideal line. You have to push really hard to the edge of the track, and once you go over it, you end up in the wall or in the gravel trap, and your race is over.
And you also have a lot of blind corners there, corners where there's more or less guessing where to go to when you approach it. Thomas Jäger, he was also guessing this time. We saw it just right away where to go. He spun, and we hope this is only spin this race day here at Zandvoort. I was just asking you because we had the decision a few days ago. What is a driver track? Isn't that a useless expression for describing a race turf? Now I ask you the question. Answer, yeah. Silly question, sensitive answer. Okay, right. Practice time is over, and now on to the qualifying. I would say ladies and gentlemen, but there unfortunately are no ladies in the field. So we have 18 guys, and the one on the favorite shield is definitely the one with starting number 20. It's Jack Keithley, our friend from Great Britain, on a Mercedes ME car, and he leads the championship with 80 points, and he's showing us impressive things this.
Yeah, he's won every single race except the first one where Tim Heinemann won, and these 80 points, they're including a drop score already. So because the championship is going over a long time, you can actually drop your worst result, or if you can't attend one of the races, you can drop that score. And Keithley, he's dropping a third place, so every result he counts are wins. And it's a super impressive season from him. And once again, in the practice session, he was in the top 3 here.
Again, so he already showed us before that he is capable of managing this track in a quick manner. But also set your eyes on Tim Heinemann, starting number 46, is driving a pink car. This is him.
Ooh,
46.
What is happening there? This white car was just streaming through the corner.
The white car didn't see what's going on behind him, but Tim Heinemann made it clear, and the white car is still outside on the grass. Tim Heinemann was the quickest in all the practice sessions before, so he's our first candidate for pole position.
Yeah, and maybe we can go on board here and take a look at the racing
That's
lines.
Zandvoort. Tarzanbocht, that's the name of the first corner with a banking, but if you lose this corner you get stuck in a gravel trap, so you have to be very cautious there. Then the first part, that's the first sector. Rather tight corners, and then from this moment on we go flat out third, fourth, fifth gear up to 250 K, not 230. We don't want to go too high there, but as you can see, it's all fast corners. You all have to have good traction out of those just to keep your speed up. That's the middle of the second sector. We are approaching the slowest point of the track. We are not there already. That's turn number 8. And now already one of those corners which you can't see the apex when you approach it. That's the slowest part of the track here at Zandvoort at the circuit park. 85k maximum. Then 2 fast right hand corners, and then in full flight up to the start and finish straight with Tim Heinemann, who is third at the moment, but 2 pink sector times. This means now the new time pole position would be a 1:28.876 in comparison to real racing. Yesterday they were at high 1:27 times, so this makes everybody clear who's watching us how close those guys here at the Mercedes-Benz eRacing competitions are to reality.
Yeah, very nice lap by Tim Heinemann. You could see almost no mistakes from him, driving very smooth lines, and yeah, a deserved pole position provisionally. But the guy who's leading the championship, Jack Keithley, is already up to second place, so let's see what he can do.
And the gap is not very big. It's only 72 thousandths of a second. This is a margin to be closed rather easily if Jack Keithley manages to get a big free lap.
And he's purple already in the first sector, so this looks like a good lap.
This looks like a really good lap. Now the second sector comes. It's the shortest of the 3 sectors here on this track. By the way, 4.307 kilometers long. Now Jack Keithley, a little bit over 1 minute. We will see how good he is in sector number 2. He is impressively good. It's a purple time again. This means absolute best time in that sector. If the time is painted in green, it's a personal best. All other colors are not important.
Coming out of the final corner now. You can see him coming up under the bridge now. Let's see if this is provisional pole.
A 28.876 is the time to beat, and he beat it 1:28.760. So the new ranking, Keithley, followed by Heinemann, and by Rebernack, Kevin Siggy Rebernack, the guy from Austria.
We can see a little bit bigger gaps than usual, and I think this undermines my driver track theory. Because usually you can see the gaps are so close between the drivers, even in the eRacing. And here you can see 4th place guy Florian Hasse already over half a second back.
Yeah, that's the name of the game here at Zandvoort. It's also like that in reality, because to get a really clear lap is a really difficult thing. In the back you can see the North Sea. That's also very close to reality. If you got a camera a little bit higher, you can see the ocean.
And I think you also always have the problem with the sand coming onto the track, right?
Yeah, in reality it's like this. They put a new tarmac on the track the last months and weeks. And this new tarmac doesn't absorb the sand that good anymore. The old tarmac was a little bit more open so that the little corns of sand could disappear into it. The new tarmac is a little bit more flat, and the sand stays on it. But on the other hand, if it's clear, it gives you much more grip than before. So that means the lap times dropped down by almost 3 seconds compared to last year.
Let's see who can drop his lap time here in this session. Florian Hasse at the moment on a lap. Decent first sector, but it doesn't look like it could be the pole position.
Maybe he is improving third or maybe second, but I don't think he can manage to catch easily. Last sector now. The guy with number 48 on his BWT 63 AMG Mercedes. And now he crosses the finish line, and he was fourth, and he still is fourth, Florian Hasse.
Nice improvement of his time, but not enough to catch Kevin Sigi-Rebernak. Now this guy here, Daniel Schön, he's a very interesting driver to follow because he's still in the run for the top 6 in the championship. And of course, we didn't mention it this time, but we mentioned it on the previous streams. The top 6 drivers of this season will qualify for an event live at the DTM final round at Hockenheim, where they will go to the actual race and drive there from simulators that stand in the hospitality of Mercedes-AMG. And Daniel Schön is in 10th place in the standings, actually quite a way back, but he was super quick in practice, so he's definitely one of the guys to watch.
Got a personal best in the first sector, so this looks like maybe he proves himself a little bit. Now he dropped down to 6th place because Jaroslav Honzik from the Czech Republic moved up into 5th position. Always we keep an eye on Thomas Jäger, on our guest driver. He's still in position 14, 6.3 seconds back. Okay, that's quite a big gap, but to be fair, Thomas Jäger, the last time he sat in a simulator is like 7-8 years ago. So he has to get used to it a little bit more. Just very fresh, this kind of computer game.
Yeah, we actually expected Daniel Junqueira in the simulator today once again, and last minute he had to jump out of the simulator and Thomas Jäger had to fill in, so pretty tough shoes to fill in because Daniel Junqueira, he was driving in the points in the last race at Moscow and he almost scored the points. In the end, he just made a mistake short before the end and finished in 12th position, but he had a very competitive showing, fighting with guys like Dorninen and Stange for the points. And so now for Thomas Jäger, with little preparation, jumping into the car, yeah, it's we cannot really expect it that he can challenge Keithley, who spent hours and hours of preparing for this race once again. But yeah, he's having a decent showing at the moment, keeping his car on the road and finding more and more grip in the simulator.
As you mentioned, Dorniden, there are quite some guys missing who follow us all season long. For example, down Dorniden, one of them, Kunze, is also not here, didn't qualify for Zandvoort. What happened to him?
I'm not sure what happened to Kunze. Dorninen is using this round as his drop score because he cannot attend, but with Kunze I'm kind of surprised because he's second in the championship and he should really be here trying to score as many points as he can, but now he's not qualified for the race. And this of course opens the door for all his rivals.
For example, for Kevin Sigi-Rebernak from Austria, he's in 3rd position in the championship with 52 points and I think he will overtake Kunze this weekend.
Qualifying already over. Pretty uneventful qualifying, to be honest, but Jack Keithley takes the pole position once again ahead of Tim Heinemann, and that's a good rivalry. We saw it last time at Moscow. Heinemann took the lead from the start, then Keithley took it back. Siggy in 3rd, then Daniel Schön, Florian Hasse and Jaroslav Honzik.
So, countdown already has started, 53 seconds to the start of race number 6 in this season 2017 of the Mercedes-Benz eRacing competition. One winner we already know, because this is definitely Thomas Jäger. He was on the Nürburgring Nordschleife yesterday, driving the premiere of the new Mercedes-AMG GT4, and he won in his class, so he already had his success this weekend. But as we know Thomas Jäger, and I know him for a very long time personally, he's a real tough guy and he wants to get the best out of everything he's participating. 10, 9, oh no. Now
Here
the
we
race, here we go. Kiesli in pole, Heinemann in second, Rebernack third, Schön fourth. That's the ones who we pay the most attention of in the beginning of this race. And Heinemann just got a really good start. And he's leading the pack in front of Jack Kiesli. So,
Oh, Kiesli fights back. Oh, puts Heinemann onto the grass. That was rough.
That was really rough, but still a maneuver from the category fair and square. And that's the look back from Kiesli's rear wing to his followers. Rebernack second, Heinemann third, Schön in fourth, Hasse in fifth, Honsig in sixth.
Streaming now here through the fastest corner on the track, the most spectacular corner at least. Now into the second sector. Oh, I think someone's off. See, Rebernack, he's off.
Yeah, there he is.
What happened there? Did he catch the grass on the braking zone? We just couldn't see it, but this is a big mistake on the first lap for Kevin Siggy Rebernack.
In real life television, we would have a slow motion, but not here. But Kevin Siggy Rebernack, he was really off. Way off, and now here. Oh, and then another one who lost the right direction. It was. Who was it?
Moritz Löhner.
Yeah.
Another guy who's in the top 6 in the championship at the moment. So these people are losing points here early on in the race, losing a lot of positions. Let's go back to the front because they're finishing the first lap. And Tim Heinemann is back in second place and right behind Jack Kiesli.
But Jack Kiesli is controlling the race until this moment. DRS is enabled until now, so that's real live competition. That's how we can put it. It's eRacing, it's virtual, but everything is like the DTM racing. Heinemann tries to follow Kiesli.
And it's always tough to follow someone here on this track.
And they already opened up a gap between the second and the third position. Huh?
The thing is, when you are in the slipstream, it helps on the straights, but in the corner, it's not really helpful when you're so close to someone. So let's see if Heinemann can keep the gap.
That's what we all call dirty air. And to drive into dirty air, you have a lot of problems. You can get a lot of problems to hold your car right on the line if you follow another opponent.
What we did see, though, in all the races this season was that Tim Heinemann is especially strong in the first half of the race. Once the tires start to drop off, he's losing a little bit of ground against Jack Kiesli, but in the first half of the race, he's probably the fastest driver in the grid. So this could get very exciting if Heinemann can stay close to Kiesli in the beginning of the race.
Yeah, but that what you said just one moment ago means that we might have maybe a not so exciting race because Jack Kiesli is keeping his performance throughout the whole race distance. He showed us this quite often this season. And it's no miracle that Jack Kiesli is the one who's leading the championship with a real good gap. 80 points is a lot off.
Oh, there's another car off. There's once again one of the BWT Mercedes is off, and I think this time it was Roman Ivanov. When he's got damage on his car, spun out of the first corner, and once again dropping back, and it just goes to show, I guess it is a driver track, and a lot of drivers are pushing a little bit too hard here and making mistakes. So Ivanov, another guy who scored quite a few points already this season, back into 12th position now.
Thomas Jäger, he dropped back to last position, but rather very well. He's pleased, making no mistakes. He holds his car on the line. This is not Gary Paffett, this is Thomas Jäger. Once was a member of the DTM field, but it's like more than 10 years ago when Thomas for Mercedes-Benz in the DTM. And now it's nice to see him in a simulator, and now he's fighting 46. That's Tim Heinemann, so he already know that's the fight between Kiesli and Heinemann.
Oh, and Heinemann now with the DRS. He's coming very close. Kiesli will give him the outside.
Yeah, but that's the bad thing about it. You have to have the inside.
Makes a bit of contact, and Kiesli once again gives him no room on the exit. But Heinemann, he wants this win. Yeah,
that causes if you your DRS You are up to 10 kilometers per hour faster at the end of the straight. For the one who is driving in front, it's really difficult to defend that.
He's doing a good job though.
Yeah, he creeps into Keithley's diffuser.
Hard over the curves.
A little bit hard over the curves. That's what I wanted to say as well.
The question, of course, on Zandvoort is where can you really make a pass?
Honestly, you can the only position to pass an opponent is turn 1. All the other cars are too fluid. All the other corners are too fluid. So there you always have to hope that the one in front of you makes a mistake. You can maybe risk something, pass him there. But the only real overtaking position is into turn 1.
Now maybe this time on the straight we can see how much Tim Heinemann actually gains with the DRS. You can see the VWT car getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, he comes closer and closer. No, not in this lap.
Also always interesting to see the different lines in turn 1, because some drivers use the banking of the corner to get a better run on the exit, and other drivers try to drive the shortest way possible. Heinemann is looking menacing though.
Yeah, he really looks like a big threat. And he is capable of staying at Keithley's rear bumper.
In the middle sector, bit of oversteer at Keithley's car. This could be an opportunity.
They touched.
Heinemann on the outside. If he can stay on the outside, he could get the inside for the next one, but Keithley just chops him off here. Heinemann has to go the long way once again.
He's blocking quite well. He always knows how to react when Tim Heinemann is trying something. And still, if you watch those two, always the one...
Oh, Heinemann! What a move!
Yeah.
Oh.
Now he overtook him.
Oh man, and this was, you said maybe in the first corner, and then he just makes it in the chicane, and bit of contact though.
Robert, he didn't pass him on the tarmac, he passed him over the grass. So, a little doubtful maneuver, but nevertheless, Tim Heinemann is our new leader, but Keithley is just behind him. And
now his roles reversed.
Yeah, and now he puts real pressure on Heinemann. And the cars that drive behind those twos, they just watch this and creep closer and closer.
Yeah, Hasse and Honzig also battling a little bit for 4th position, but Daniel Schön, the guy I mentioned in the practice session, he's having a great race here. On the first time in the season that he's on a podium place, and because Keithley and Heinemann are fighting so hard, he can close the gap.
So once again, Keithley is knocking on at the door. But Heinemann, you can see how much fun this track creates for him. He really feels very well here on those 4.307 kilometers through the Northern Holland dunes.
And what we saw in the previous races with Heinemann's car is that he always sets it up for a lot of oversteer, and you can see the rear kind of getting a little bit loose when he's maneuvering his car through the corners, while Keithley's car is usually a bit more planted on the track. And because Heinemann is sliding more, he also uses his tires more. So, now it's probably the point where the balance shifts, and now Keithley could get faster.
Yeah, now he can use the DRS. But the outside line is not the best choice.
Ooh, contact once again.
Especially out of the Tarzan bocht. Contact once again, you're right. Those two fight really hard for the victory. Now, as we approach half of the race distance, half of the race time, 10 minutes and 25 seconds still to go. And the battle rages on between the leader, Tim Heinemann from Germany, and Jack Keithley from Great Britain.
If Keithley can do anything. Actually, we might take a look a little bit further back on the field while this is calm just for a second. we take a look at this guy here, Jan Stange in 6th position. That's his best position in the whole season so far. Benefited maybe a little bit from the mistakes of Sigi Revanak-Löhner and Ivanov, but he's still putting in a consistent performance and he can still see the battle for the lead in front of him.
He's driving in a silver pile branded Mercedes-Benz. He also got starting number 63 on his car. Jan Stange, that's exactly the starting number that Mauro Engel has with this car in real DTM racing. So it's a one-to-one copy in that case. And he's really doing well. And the gap to the cars in front of him is not too big.
Here we go once again. Keithley on the outside, Heinemann on the inside.
But again, Tim Heinemann defends his position, his lead. But imagine, Robert, if you have to hold that through 9 more minutes, that's a really breathtaking affair.
Yeah, and Jack Keithley with all his experience here and with all the pace that he's shown in this season. But Tim Heinemann, I actually met him a while ago, and he's the type of guy who's not bothered at all by pressure or by difficult situations. He's really believing in his own abilities in a race car, and he's certainly one of the guys who wants to get into real motorsports as well. So I think he really thrives in these situations where he's under pressure.
So he's one of those guys who shower cold in the morning.
Yeah, I guess so.
Tim Heinemann. Mr. Cold Shower against hot-blooded Jack Keithley. And he tries it again here. But those gaps are too small. And that's the corner where Tim Heinemann overtook Jack Keithley a while ago. But more than half of the car over the grass.
Yeah, I noticed that they installed the curb there on the real circuit for the DTM this year. And on the game, we don't really have that curb exactly, so you have a bit more liberties. But here, once again, Keithley all the way in the slipstream. Has to take the outside again.
That's real racing line. That's how you have to approach turn 1, the Tarzanbocht, the legendary Tarzanbocht, where almost every racing driver has been stuck in the gravel trap once in his life. We also saw throughout this weekend here in Zandvoort many more drivers who tried to use the gravel in the Tarzanbocht. For example, Formula 3 driver David Beckmann rolled over and got stuck headfirst in the gravel trap at the Tarzanbocht. So that's a really crucial corner.
I think I saw a certain Swedish driver in the DTM in the gravel trap, if I remember correctly.
You mean Mr. Eck and Mr. Ström?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
true. So it can even take out some of the most experienced drivers.
Yeah, yesterday he came out of the pits with cold tires, and he underestimated this and went straight into the trap. He was quick enough to get out of it again by his own, but then 2 corners later he spun, and then the race was completely damaged.
6 minutes to go here in this race though, and Tim Heinemann, he's not looking like he's making any mistakes.
No.
So if he can just keep the inside here on the start-finish straight, then Keithley really has limited opportunities to make the pass. And once again, Keithley has to go on the outside.
Tries it again and again and again and again. But Tim Heinemann holds the line in a very, very precise way. That's really impressive how Tim Heinemann performs here this Sunday noontime.
But also an impressive performance from Daniel Schön, who really needs these points if he wants to qualify for the top 6 for the final race at the DTM finale at Hockenheim. He needs this 3rd place, and he's doing everything that he can to keep Honzig and Hasse behind him.
Until now, Daniel Schön only, in exclamation mark, has 13 points, but he showed his potential quite a few times already this year. So this would make, let's start calculating, this would make 15 more points for him. Turns out to be 28. So
contact for the lead!
What happened?
Keithley tapped Heinemann there. He tried to make a move in the last corner of the 2nd sector. Tapped Heinemann. Heinemann keeps the lead, but now Keithley is under pressure by Daniel Schön. And Honzig!
What's he doing?
Honzig tries to capitalize here and moves past Schön with a super aggressive overtake.
Yeah.
Oh, and that caused some chaos there when Keithley dropped back. And I think Keithley tried to make a move on the inside against Heinemann in the left-hander at the end of the second sector, and then they made contact. Heinemann kept the lead, and now it bunched everyone up. And Honzik capitalized. He was the one who gained the position.
Yeah, they are all not shy of touching an opponent. Now the new ranking: Heinemann, Keithley, Honzik, Schön, Hasse. And those 5 all are in contention for the victory here. Now, especially after that maneuver by Jack Keithley.
And of course, we don't know if Tim Heinemann maybe has got a little bit of damage after this contact, because Keithley has caught up once again very, very quickly.
Yeah. Maybe Heinemann runs into a big problem now. Over the curbs, really taking the curb almost half under the car. But now he looks being back in stride again. Tim Heinemann. Jack Keithley at the moment has no chance to pass him, but they're all running up to Thomas Jäger now.
Yeah, there's Thomas Jäger, and I think Keithley made a bit of contact with Heinemann once again. Just saw it, just saw a glimpse of it, but he came really close once again in the chicane.
It was just his question, hello, somebody home?
And it's always surprising to me, because Keithley, he's leading the championship by, quite some margin.
Yeah, he could
and he's
play it
still
safe.
pushing really hard.
He could play it safe, but that's not in his nature, as we can see. And once again, he tries it over the outside through the Tarzanbocht. And still Heinemann keeps the line, and now Thomas Jäger is all in front of them.
Ooh, and he's a bit in the way there. Oh, and Heinemann's... Ooh! I don't think he saw him in the rearview mirror, and now Heinemann, he has to defend super hard against Keithley, and Honzik is there as well.
Not only Keithley, I would say. There's Honzik as well. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's how we want it. That's so close. That's how we want it in the real Sunday race at the DTM here at Zandvoort later on.
And Keithley's going for the inside, and that was a bit of contact once again, but he's in the lead. Contact once again from Heinemann.
Oh, and he's now in danger even to lose P3.
Heinemann keeps the lead, Schön ahead, but Keithley once again just breaks later and takes the 3rd position back immediately. But this will lead to some discussions here, I guess, between Keithley and Heinemann.
2 minutes prior to the end, the ranking is like this. Heinemann leads, Honzik 2nd, Keithley 3rd, Schön in 4th position, Hasse in 5th, and Stange in 6th. And now next try, this time Honzik against Heinemann, but no chance. And Keithley, he's got the knife between his teeth.
Oh yeah, you can tell. You can tell by the body language of his car, by the way he was moving on the braking zone. He's pushing all he can. And I think Honzik has a good chance to win the race, because he was saving his tires the whole time. And now he's only got 1.5 laps to go, of course, to make the pass stick. But he already showed that he can pass when he passed Schön early on. And now he's only got Heinemann in front of him.
Shall we too make a personal bet?
Yeah, I think Honzik will actually win.
I will go for Heinemann, because he knows the track so well, he holds his line so well, and if Keithley was no threat to him, then Honzik will also not be endangering his victory.
Honzik has the DRS, of course.
Yeah,
but Keithley also couldn't do it, that's true.
But maybe Honzik is running out of time now, only 40 seconds left.
They will complete the lap that they start when they cross the line, so 1 more lap to go after these 2 corners here. This could be maybe the final opportunity for Jaroslav Honzik, unless he wants to try a dive in the chicane on the final lap.
Yeah, I hope that he's not trying any crazy things. Because this is no scooter driving, this is eRacing. This is something else. And there's also some rules and there's also some behavior you have to show. And until now, they show it. Heinemann, he's really now under hard pressure of Honzik, and Keithley is watching the whole thing. I think Keithley is out of the game right now.
Yeah, it looks like the gap is a little bit too big for Keithley, unless these two make contact here on the final lap. But it's not many corners, and I think Honzik is actually running out of time now. I think you might be right. He has to make a move now.
Always believe in expert, my friend. So, time 0 and the last 4 corners for the leaders. For Tim Heinemann, we will see right off the window of Jaroslav Honzik. Jack Keithley in 3rd position, but the decision will be made only over the 2 leading cars, maximum. Oh, Heinemann, now I made a little mistake.
Honzik came close, tapped the back of him, but now he can't pass. Yeah.
No.
Into the 2 final corners of the track.
Yeah, the last right-hand corner, the Ari Leyendijk bocht, and then down to the start-finish straight, and it is Tim Heinemann who finally wins this race. It's a real close gap, but he's the winner here at round number 6 of the Mercedes-Benz eRacing competition. The victory goes to Germany. Heinemann won, Honzik from the Czech Republic in 2nd place, and Jack Keithley 3rd position. I don't think it will bother him too much because he also already got a real big lead. Championship, but nevertheless, knock who's there? Pushes Honzik now.
Yeah.
Back into Park Fermé.
Maybe Honzik doesn't have so much fuel in his car, so he needs a little push on the outlap. Nice performance by Daniel Schön, almost a podium, but then Honzik capitalized when there was a bit of chaos in the beginning of the 3rd sector. But still a good position, and it puts him back into the fight for the top 6. And here we can see the result of the race. Fastest lap as well for Tim Heinemann.
Heinemann, Honzik, Keithley, Schönhasse, Stange, Matzen, Jaar, Ivanov, and Ziggy Rebanak, who will definitely not be satisfied with this race because the Austrian is in 3rd position in the championship, and for 10th position you only get 1 point, 1 single point. In comparison, Tim Heinemann as the race winner gets 25.
Rounding out the grid, Rechel, Shaposhnik, Löhner and Thomas Jäger finished the race. 14 finishers in this race. And yeah, that was it. A pretty exciting race. I thought, you know, passing is not possible on this track, and
but it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So the Mercedes-Benz, the AMG Motorsport eRacing competition has seen its 6th race of the season. A breathtaking one, you're right. Next time we'll see and meet and hear us again will be in 3 weeks' time, then at the Nürburgring. You'll be there too, Robert?
Yeah, I will be here for the in the commentary booth once again for the next race, and I hope we will see a lot of action once again. It's getting close. Everyone wants to finish in the top 6, of course, and we can see Keithley and Heinemann. It's not so much about the top 6 for them. It's not so much about the final for them. I think it's mostly about the prestige. Who's the fastest driver in this competition? And it's always exciting to see when they battle so hard.
It's also whether in real life or in eRacing competition. It's a balls game, if you know what I mean. Jack Keithley now has 95 points, and Tim Heinemann with his 25 today comes up to 71, so he's not too far away.
Yeah, and he certainly should be taking the 2nd place in the championship standings now, because Julian Kunze was not here today, and Kevin Siggy, like you said, only one point.
Mm. Okay, so this was an exciting race. I go off back into the real life. Robert, wishing you a nice Sunday.
Yeah, and I wish everyone who watched a nice Sunday as well.
Everyone who watched and everyone who competed. Don't be too sad if it didn't come out being victorious today. The next try is in 3 weeks' time at the Nürburgring. Goodbye from my side. Goodbye, Robert. See and hear you again in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching, and tune in the next time.